the chopper, just know that who's shot you. Me, pull up in the rubber, I don't have a key. Got the key, she hopping up with the serpent like a jelly. She got the sloppy toppy bitches on my rocket list. She after my money, monopoly. Told the bitches wanna follow me. I make them follow me, they kick them up for my pocket. Paparazzi keep on stalking. Feel like the Federalists keep on watching. 200 mil, nigga can't talk to me. Get sloppy toppy, but you keep it cameras. I make your bitch work for me, she hit the double tree. Strong OG, get back of that hugging. Removing the top of the eye, they do surgery. Head on the bottom, my shoe was a murder scene. I know what your bitch, she a nick. Pull up in the attic, it's a hatchback. Get pimpin' in the nursery living. Making that disappear, I'm a magician. Know that the bad bitch, she got it. She got it. Know that she got it, I know that she got it, I know that she got it. Know that the bad bitch, she got it. She got it. Know that she got it, I know that she got it, I know that she got it. Sloppy eating wrist and I'm a pipe ass. Come on, little bitch, I won't sloppy tap bitch. But naked fucking in Balenciaga. But pussy what I call it visual. I know she got it, I'ma beat it for. Then I dismiss the bitch and ignore. They know I got it, I'm at the top of the store. Blue Benjamins on me, no doubt. Double like it, like I'm on the mirror. Boogers in my rolling, Pikachu, yeah. Pikachu, but listen, make some more jello. Pick a big bezel, which bezel is better? My jello, know I got big trouble. Double Lambo, double park on well. Double look, I'm jumping with a umbrella. Come with me, we take on a space shuttle. Long ride, with me. Know that the bad bitch, she got it. She got it. Know that she got it, I know that she got it, I know that she got it. Know that the bad bitch, she got it.
There we go.
Sloppy toppy in the Maserati. She gon' get on top me, ride me like a hundred. Don't fuck with the molly, lick down about it. She'll hide it like a bag of tacos. Beat the pussy like I'm Pacquiao. Squeeze the nipples like you milk a cow. Pull up in the car that she can't pay.
This line was the most memorable.
Think she got a root canal. 30,000 for a Birkin. 30K fat booty, shot it perfect. She got on the dick and she burping. She swallow my kids like a slurp. Good brain, she nerdy. I wonder what else up her. When I get around her, I get nervous. Little mama, she clean like detergent. Know that the bad bitch, she got it. She got it. Know that she got it, I know that she got it, I know that she got it. Know that the bad bitch, she got it. She got it. Know that she got it, I know that she got it, I know that she got it.
Now, I think what turned me off at first, when I first heard this, and I'm just being blunt with y'all, it was when, Quavo came in and just was just basically saying sloppy toppy like 20 different times. I almost was like, I'm losing interest in this. And I wasn't really into the Migos just yet. I just knew there was 3 of them, and I didn't really get into and understand who they was about. But for a fact, I definitely rocked with Travis' part. Takeoff was pretty good, but my favorite verse from the Migos definitely came from Offset last, and I think they saved him for last for a reason. He definitely came in and just stole the show. Dude was on it. I mean, the punchlines was ridiculous. Yeah, like Manny Pacquiao. Like, I mean, look, I'll say this: he's definitely my favorite Migo out of the 3. It's just, it is what it is. Takeoff is definitely solid, and Quavo has that energy, in my opinion, that definitely match Travis when he's on his. And to me, I think people missed out on that collab they did, because Travis, I wasn't getting that same vibe as I was from pre-come up Travis Scott, like I said, it's just him being mellowed down. He's really on that. You know what I mean? Like, it really was like as if he was just straight up on codeine throughout the whole recording process, and he wasn't, excited and, just full of energy like that. So, but that being said, like I said, it was just, for me, when I first hear this was definitely the song I would be skipping. If there's one song for sure I was skipping on this, it was Sloppy Toppy. I would skip it at first. Then eventually I kind of grew patience, listened to it, and I'm like, okay. Obviously, like I said, Travis was really the part I would listen to. And then after that, but I would stick around. My mind would skip P-Way Longway, but for some reason my mind was only listening to Travis and P-Way Longway. But then I would hear, what's his name at the end? Offset. I always forget to hear Takeoff's part, and Takeoff was pretty solid. So that's just my take on that. Sloppy Toppy, it is what it is. I just didn't like how it was like dun 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 da da. Like I just didn't like that part of the beat. The beat just kind of felt. But the hook was dope. Quavo came in and he definitely made that entertaining. Like really just pulling out there with the hook, I mean, with his melodies and vocals. No, that she bad bitch, she got it. It was really entertaining. So like I said, he's got that energy. But Travis Scott once again just shines through lyrically and just as a rapper, man. Like the flow was just ridiculous. First he comes in and does that new Toronto. No, not New Toronto. But I will say this though. Know that she got it. Know that she got it. I've heard Tory sing like that. I don't know what song, but he definitely sounded like that. Now that, I'm like, okay, this raises some eyebrows for me. Know that she got it. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence, man. But it's funny. Like, I'm like, okay, I've heard Tory do that too. But either way, we're going to go on to track number 9, which is Basement Freestyle. Let's get it.
Yo. Got my nigga easy in this motherfucker. Dead stock sixes and shit. Got my nigga Metro in this motherfucker.
get to my favorite track off this mixtape. Let me recap the last two producers for let me recap the producers for the last two tracks. Let me reward that for y'all. Track number 8, Sloppy Toppy, was produced by FKI, and track number 9, Basement Freestyle, was co-produced by Lex Luger and Metro Boomin. So with that being said, Basement Freestyle was a dope track. I love the beat. The beat was just infectious. That was energetic and definitely one of my favorite. Like, if I was to look at the mixtape, be like, I want to hear this song, I'd play that song right off the bat. Especially when it goes back to back with the next track. It just leads up to another back to back banger. Man. Yeah, one thing I would definitely say is Metro Boomin, I'm surprised you and Travis haven't linked up for a collab project. Because you'll see a producer and a rapper get together and make beats together. I'm like, Metro Boomin has the sounds that, to me, captures Travis Scott's flame in a bottle, or lightning in a bottle, and just powers up a whole house with that shit. Mansion, city, whatever you want to say. Either way, dope collab, man. I mean, as long as Travis is Travis and he's just putting himself out there and he isn't toning himself down, having to mellow down his shit for no damn reason, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's get to my favorite track, man. Track number 10, that's Backyard, produced by 6 Sense and Oz.
Alright, perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Go grab that dip, grab what you need. Blow that dope, don't get too high. From the third coast to the west coast, come take this ride. Let me tell her how Jack Jones got over one lost trip to the sky. Let me tell cause you told to tell when you said I can make it this high. Who knew? God damn it, who knew? The grass ain't green on the other side, it's just blue.
Like that,
when you look in the eyes, you ready to ride, that's true. When they look in my eyes, they see that roll. I gotta get tired, that juice. Had my back against that wall. Every time I feel so cold, my daddy ain't coming home till fall. That's why my pimp game so moist. Had that do-rag it on. Had a 20-year-old bitch in high school. Wasn't no telling what Travi might do. On the south side of Hold on, let's take it back to that room. No car, but still had drop. Just 100 niggas standing outside. Life's the beach with a lot of sand on the lot. I'ma ride for all my niggas. Every here by my side. It was just 8 niggas in a 2-bedroom, no that room. That was Raj Jr. Yeah, for real. Yeah, for real. Fuck what they talk about. If they talk about me, nigga, let it be known. Yeah, is that real? Yeah, for real. Bag out, we chillin'. Bag out, we drinkin'. Smoking, homie, ball out the nigga. Bag out, we gettin' high. Bag out, we chillin'. Bag out, we smoking, drinkin'. Bag out, we gettin' high. Bag out, we chillin'. Bag out, we drinkin'. Smoking, homie, ball out the nigga. Bag out, we gettin' high. Bag out, we chillin'. Bag out, we smoking, drinkin'. Bag out, we gettin' high. We gettin' high. One day you find your purpose. Now my shows back down like churches. Fans never missing out a word on the verses. Never sit around just working. It was worth it. What's the service? I deserve it. Lord knows we don't get tired. There's more dirt than a derby. Mama worked for AT&T and we still ain't get that service. She stayed at the hospital, you know that made me nervous. Still step out the house, still smell so fresh like detergent. If a bitch don't me, don't even still got my jerseys. And bitch, you can keep the murphys. Don't learn me. No house light on cop light on, fuck this journey. You heard me, now swerving, getting cursing. And my nigga came home, so it just got real. Yeah, for real. Fuck what they talk about. They talk about me, nigga, let it be known, yeah, is that real? Backyard we chillin', backyard we drinkin', smoking on me, backyard we getting hot, backyard we chillin', backyard we smoking, drinking, backyard we getting hot, backyard we chillin', backyard we drinkin', smoking on me, backyard we getting hot, backyard we chillin', backyard we smoking, drinking, backyard we getting hot.
Yo, that's crazy. So I'm just reading an article where because Travis Scott is doing that McDonald's collab. Crazy. I go to this restaurant all the damn time in Downey. Apparently Travis Scott was there. He stopped by a McDonald's restaurant in Downey, California. Now he and McDonald's are facing a lawsuit. I'm just reading this right now. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh no, wait, wrong one. He went to the OG McDonald's. So the one so anyone that's here in Cali, if you're wondering which McDonald's he was at, I found out. It's the one that was on Florence and Lakewood. So that OG McDonald's, that's where he was at. Okay. Of course, people are gonna know who he is when he shows up in that whip. But either way, Backyard is one of those joints where, man, I just listen to this and it just gives me good vibes. The production alone is ridiculously just, it's out of this world. And Travis comes in here and he gives it that H-Town feel. He's like, backyard we chilling, backyard we drinking, smoking, backyard we we bring the liquor, backyard we getting high. Like, man, I fuck with this, man. This song is definitely chill. And I'm surprised this wasn't a song that Cardo produced, because it gives me that similar vibe. But yeah, man, dope. Let's go ahead and move on to the next track, which to me is definitely the most mellow and chill track out of all of these songs. And that's none other than track number 11, Gray. Let's get it. We'll settle for something simple right now. There we go. Damn. Okay.
We wake up when the sun goes down. Neighbor says the smells too loud. Riding in my old school day. Shotgun with my old school day. So wake me when the sun goes down. Tonight's my last night in town. I pledge to a flag so big. No matter where time, the skies are gray. Ooh, around this time, won't stop in a Ramadan. Yeah, might have robbed you blind. You, your daddy moms. Yeah, keep that in mind. 15 things been broken down. Yeah, jump your ass inside. LSD, come take this ride. No ACID, how you get your ass inside? Yeah, take one peek at me, you might get lost in my mind. Yeah, fuck that college shit, that scholarship, let's hypnotize. Yeah, we wake up when the sun goes down. Neighbor says the smell's too loud. Riding in my old school day. Shotgun with my old school babe. So wake me when the sun goes down. Tonight's my last night in town. I pledge to a flag so brave. No matter what time, the sky skies are gray. The sky is gray. Yeah, yeah, the sky is gray. Might be the last time I trip. I know I said this shit last time, but damn, I never had a trip like this. Who knew a three-way on freeway can triple 3 O's to a 6-way? Ain't got a finesse out the midway, so Birkin rappers in that Bing ain't no more, goddamn. And Pops never gave me shit, but Pops ain't raised no bitch. I swung, I missed, he swung, he hit, then I hit that ditch. Raised in a town where it looks so good outside like it ain't that serious. My nigga got dumb years doing dumb shit. Locked up in the car, had to put a gun quick. Killer tatted on his face, linked to his conscience. Night stuck in the cell, know he feeling nauseous. The nigga so good, he was so cold. Another lost kid, Mo City, so. This guy is great.
I mean, it's one. Actually, you know what? I might say this. Let me take it back. Sloppy Toppy wasn't the weakest joint on this. It was definitely Great. Great was a song I would skip a lot. I think maybe Sloppy Toppy a few times, and then eventually I just let it play through. But definitely I feel like Great is definitely the weakest link on this project. But it doesn't mean it's a bad song. I mean, like I said, it just feels very lighthearted and all that. And when it comes to Travis Scott, I'm looking for some, I don't want to say dark, but like some black spacey shit, you know what I mean? So I want to go on a journey, and Gray is kind of like one of those, like, yeah, it's a kiddie ride. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna say.
That bitch smell like Swiss. Oh no, 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 no.
me go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts, man. While I do that, let me go and play Backyard. Just because the vibe feels great. So, to give you guys my best, I want to say... So my best way of wrapping up my final thoughts of this mixtape is this really was Travis Scott on the verge of doing big things. And of course, as history has shown, he definitely did that with his next project in Rodeo. So Days Before Rodeo was a great appetizer. Like, you know, when you get those Zetsy nachos from like Fridays or something like that before you get the main entree. Yeah, the best main, this was like the best appetizer you've ever had. Think of it as like almost like a mini meal. Like, it was already considered a meal, but you definitely had a big stomach and you were hungry for more. You know, give me about 30 minutes or so after the appetizers. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna feel for the whole main course and all that. You know, obviously when you got money, you can do that, and it's a great luxury to have. Especially if you want to go out and hang out with friends and stuff like that. But no, like, just keeping it real, like, Days Before Rodeo, to me, yeah, it's set up for a bigger journey, but this was nonetheless a solid project in itself from beginning to end. There's really no weak track. Now, I already said for me there was a track where I would skip a lot, but it's still not a bad song, man. It's not. And Travis was phenomenal. He truly grown. He's shown a lot of substantial growth from Alfaro to this mixtape, and this is where a lot of people were turning heads and noticing him. You know, people weren't looking at him as someone that was raw and didn't know what he wanted to do and all that. I get it. Everyone has their own specific taste. I thought Alfaro was a solid project, just me personally. But either way, there's no denying how big, like I said, how greater Days Before Rodeo is compared to its predecessor, man. So let me make that very clear. I'm just writing this down real quick because I want to give you guys my catalog right after this. But yeah, hey, the features were solid. Wasn't too many, you know, and if he did had multiple features, it was definitely a reoccurring artist that vibed out with him, like Young Thug. But no, man, dude was solid, dog. Solid. Let me get a different marker. Travis Scott portrayed the abilities that made him really popular amongst his fan base, which are definitely solid. His day ones who are still rocking with them in spite of the bullshit. You know what I mean? The guy can do it all. The guy can rap for you, give you some hard bars, can help out on the producer side end of things. And he really can pull that Kanye West Kid Cudi singing style, which is ridiculous in its own self. But at the end of the day, you still get that distinct feeling that this is Travis Scott and not somebody else trying to sound like, you know, like somebody else. So like, he's not Travis Scott trying to sound like somebody. Like, it's just Travis. And that's what I fucked about with him, man. You know, no faking nothing. But yeah, shoot, the features, like I said, was dope. Big Sean, 1975, which was a nice crossover of genre right there. T.I., Rich Homie Quan, Young Thug, Migos, Pee Wee Longway. Like I said, it was a small group of people on the features. There was one more uncredited feature, which was James Fauntleroy, but he did mostly background vocals on Gray. But you really got the full flavor of Travis Scott right here, the full, like, the La Flame. So everything that you, like, anyone that really started rocking with Travis, it was at this point when, like I said, he was on the top of his game. Well, I wouldn't say the top, because the next project was definitely prime Travis Scott, but he was definitely catching some recognition. Like, he was definitely burning up. He was really gonna be doing some big things, man. And I still wholeheartedly believe, man, like, he could still go back to this, and it's not like he's taking it's like sometimes you got to take a step back to take 5 steps forward. That's essentially what Travis Scott got to do, man. Simple as that. No knocking his style, no knocking anything that he's doing, man. I mean, at the end of the day, he is who he is, man. But yeah, give me 1 second. All right, y'all. Sorry for well, actually not the wait, but anyways, so I basically got my catalog done. I had to actually pause the video for just real quick and just knock this out for y'all. But man, this just was a fire mixtape, really. And in my opinion, Travis Scott's second best project behind his number 1, which we will cover in the next episode. But yeah, no doubt about it. This is number 2. This is a solid number 2, and I really can't see anything topping Days Before Rodeo. As far as number 3, I think I would go with Alfaro. That might shock some of y'all, but that's just how I feel, though. It's just one of those tracks. I mean, it's just one of those mixtapes, man, that, like I said, it gave me a lot to explore. Like, it was just a wild wasteland, you know. And yeah, you don't know what you were really gonna see, but at the same time, you got to really see Travis just being as open as he could be, just doing all different types of things. And I thought that was cool, especially from a production level. Like, he wasn't afraid to do anything. You know what I mean? So I think that fearlessness is what's probably missing the most about Travis. If he's not scared to fail, man, not scared to try something new, be different, instead of taking the safe route, which is what he's doing right now, man, with the industry and shit. Fuck that. You already on top, man. People already know who you is. Why are you afraid to fall out, you know? And I don't like this idea of how sometimes artists will save their best music so that way the industry doesn't get to own it, because it's like owning your masters and all that. You don't want them to own it. It's like, come on, man. You could flourish and continue to grow with yourself, and go ahead and give them what you got, the best you got. Because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be afraid to top it, because we all gonna eventually grow. So I think that's the one thing. It's like, don't hold back, like how Tori was talking about. Don't hold back. I'll say this to any artist out there: if you're coming up